You ever see someone roll up to your house with 3 goons, thinking they're about to rewrite the law right there on your front lawn? Because I have, and trust me, it's the kind of thing you don't forget. One minute I'm sipping coffee on my porch, the next I'm watching Karen herself. Yeah, clipboard queen, permanent scowl, fake pearls strangling her neck. Point right at me like she's leading a SWAT team. And behind her, 3 meatheads in matching black shirts climb out of her SUV, cracking their knuckles, acting like they own the whole damn street. She didn't even bother with a hello. Just barked. That man refuses to join the HOA. Make him sign today or drag him out. No kidding. Those were her exact words. One of the guys grinned at me, like he was about to have himself a little fun, and that's when my dog, good old Duke, trained K9, loyal as the day is long, stepped up to the porch. He started that deep, rumbling growl, ears back, hackles up, the kind of sound that says, "Try it. Just try it." The goons laughed, called him a mutt, actually, but I didn't say a word. I just leaned back against my shotgun, never raised it, just let it rest there in plain sight, and said, "Real easy. Step 1 foot closer and you'll regret it." Karen, clutching her faux leather HOA binder like it was the Holy Bible, puffed herself up and shouted, "You're on HOA land now. And you follow my rules." Except, if you listened close, her voice had just a little shake to it. The biggest of the goons took a step forward anyway, trying to call my bluff. Only Duke wasn't bluffing. He lunged, barking so hard it rattled the windows, and the guy froze, eyes wide. Suddenly, things weren't looking so easy for them. That's when Karen pulled a piece of paper out of her bag, looked like something printed at Kinko's, slapped it against my front gate, and declared, "You're evicted as of today." Waved it around like it was a golden ticket. I just smiled and shook my head. "Funny," I told her, "because the sheriff already knows you're trespassing. And wouldn't you know it?" Right then, sirens started screaming down the street, lights bouncing off every window. You ever see a person's confidence drain right out of them? It's something else. The thugs looked back at Karen, waiting for their next order, but her face went as white as her knockoff pearls. She never saw it coming, that I'd call in backup before she could even finish her little performance. She sure as hell didn't expect who was about to step out of that patrol car. Sheriff Jacobs, guys. A mountain, cowboy hat pulled low, hand always just resting by his holster, rolls up, throws his door open, and just stands there. Karen, trying to recover, sprints over, shrieking, "Sheriff, arrest this man. He's refusing HOA law, and he's threatening us with a gun." Sheriff doesn't even look at her, walks right up to me, shakes my hand, firm, steady, and says, loud enough for everyone to hear, "You holding up all right?" Karen's jaw just about hit the pavement. "What? Why are you on his side? He's breaking the rules." Sheriff finally turns to her. "Cool as you please. Lady, there is no HOA here. This land is under county jurisdiction, and I already warned you about impersonating an official." One of the goons, maybe realizing the script's changed, pipes up. She said he was squatting. Sheriff just sighs, opens his cruiser, and pulls out a folder. Flips open the deed, my name big as life, stamped and sealed. This man owns every inch of this property. Fair and legal. I thought Karen was about to faint right there. She lunged for the paper, desperate, but Sheriff Jacobs yanked it back, voice like thunder. "Touch this again and you'll be charged with destruction of evidence." The street went dead quiet. All you could hear was Duke, still rumbling under his breath. Suddenly, those thugs didn't look so tough. They looked like they wanted to be anywhere but standing next to her. Karen, of course, couldn't let it go. She started her act, voice quivering, clutching her throat. "Sheriff, you don't understand." He threatened me with a loaded weapon, pointed it right at us. The goons nodded along, real quick to get on the victim train. Yeah, he was ready to shoot us down, but Sheriff wasn't having any of it. Instead, he looked straight at me and asked, "You got the footage?" I grinned, pulled my phone from my pocket, and handed it over. Karen's eyes just about bugged out. "Footage? What footage?" Sheriff tapped the screen, cranked up the volume, and right there in front of everyone, neighbors now peeking out from every porch and window, he played the video. There was Karen, clear as day, rolling up, barking orders, sending her muscle up my walk. Me, standing calm, not once raising the shotgun. And there she was, smacking that bogus eviction notice on my gate, yelling, "Make him sign or drag him out." The crowd started murmuring, little whispers growing louder. Someone across the street said, "She's been lying this whole time." Karen's mask slipped, panic, pure and simple. She lunged at the sheriff's phone, but Duke leapt between them, barking so loud Karen stumbled back, nearly taking out one of her own goons. Sheriff just snapped his cuffs open, metal flashing in the sunlight. Enough lies. Enough games. Impersonation, harassment, trespassing. How deep you want this to go, Karen? And for the first time, she had nothing to say. She just stood there, shaking, while her thugs started backing away, realizing they'd just become the punchline to the whole block story. Sheriff didn't cuff her yet. Oh, no, he wanted this to land. Pulled out another document, stamped with the county seal, held it up high so everyone could see. Karen here has been sending out fake HOA letters for months. Dozens of complaints, all on my desk. Illegal fees, bogus fines. Threatening people with eviction, gasps all down the street now. Someone yelled, "She took $200 from me for lawn violations." Another shouted, "She locked me out of my garage till I paid her cash." Sheriff just nodded grimly. Yeah, that money never saw an HOA. Straight into her own account. You could see the panic. Karen sputtered, "That's not true. They're lying. Slander." But even her goons stepped away, like she was radioactive. One of them muttered, "Lady, you didn't say nothing about this being illegal." Sheriff leaned in, his voice low but carrying. "You tried to run a fake government on my watch. That ends tonight." He glanced back at me, gave me a nod. "You've been more patient than most would have been." Karen, wild-eyed, shrieked, "You can't arrest me. I am the HOA. I make the rules here." But no one was buying it. Phones everywhere, neighbors filming, whispers spreading. Her power evaporated in the sunlight, just like that. She finally saw it. Wasn't me that took her down, or even Sheriff Jacobs. It was her own mountain of lies that finally crushed her. That's when she really lost it. Snatched her fake binder from the SUV, held it over her head, screaming, "This is legal authority." Then, in one last, desperate move, hurled it straight at Duke. He dodged, fast as lightning, but the crowd gasped. That did it. Sheriff barked, "Enough," and stepped forward, but Karen wasn't finished yet. She rummaged through her purse, pulled out this cheap plastic badge, waved it in the air. "See, I'm authorized. Deputized by the county." Her voice was cracked, desperate. Sheriff stared at the badge, then laughed, cold, sharp. "That's a toy store badge. You just committed another felony, impersonating law enforcement." He pulled out his own badge, flashed it beside hers, night and day. The crowd lost it, phones up, recording every second. Karen, still clawing for some kind of control, lunged at my shotgun, maybe thinking she could flip the story if she grabbed it. Duke was faster. He launched between us, snarling. Karen landed in the dirt, clutching her fake badge. Face red and sweaty. Sheriff didn't wait. Snapped the cuffs on her wrists, reading her rights loud and clear for everyone to hear. The thugs just stood there, frozen, till Sheriff fixed them with his gaze. "You want to go down with her?" Hands shot up, palms out, all innocence. We didn't know she was lying. We're done." The street was alive now, neighbors cheering, cameras everywhere. Karen's kingdom shattered, just like that. But even in cuffs, Karen wasn't done running her mouth. She twisted around, venom in her eyes, spit out. "You think this is over? Locking me up changes nothing. I have people above the sheriff. Real people." She demanded her phone. Sheriff just shook his head, but a deputy, rookie mistake, pulled it out of her bag, hoping for evidence. Karen's lips curled into a smirk. "Good, then put it on speaker. Let everyone hear." Sheriff, maybe wanting to end her games for good, nodded. She dialed fast, muttering, "You'll regret crossing me." Call rang, clicked on speaker, and a man's voice answered. "Karen, what now? You're supposed to keep things quiet." Every head turned. Karen screamed, "They're arresting me. You promised protection." Sheriff narrowed his eyes. "Who is this?" The man, voice shaky, laughed, then hung up. Too late. His voice echoed across the block, and someone whispered, "Wasn't that Councilman Briggs?" Oh my God, the county official. Sheriff's face went hard as stone. The neighbors all started talking at once, their voices rising like a wave. Realizing this rabbit hole ran a lot deeper than a few fake lawn finds. And right there, in the dying sunlight, with Karen cuffed and red-faced and the street alive with truth, you could feel it. Justice, for once, had come home to roost. Now here's where I'm throwing it to you, because honestly, I want to hear what you think. Was justice really served here? Or did Karen just become the fall gal for a system that let her run wild for way too long? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share your own HOA horror stories or crazy neighbor run-ins. And if you believe in standing up for what's right, even when it means going toe-to-toe with a clipboard tyrant, go ahead, hit subscribe, smash that like button, and tell me where you're watching from. Let's keep the conversation going, because around here, the story's never as simple as it looks on paper.